The fiscal stimulus that we've seen in 2018 and we expect to see in 2019 is actually pretty significant. And it's the result of increase in government spending that was decided upon last Congress for both 2018 and 2019. And it was the positive effects from the big tax cut bill that we saw at the end of 2017. The impact in 2018 was pretty significant from those two things, about 0.6% to real GDP growth. Real GDP growth was about 3%, so 0.6 of that was from the fiscal authorities. And in 2019, about 0.4%. It's quite unusual to see so much fiscal stimulus this late in an economic expansion. Usually you see this when actually the economy is slowing, not when it's growing. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and Graham, to your point about this fiscal cliff, is that even though the fiscal side has been a real tailwind to growth in both 2018 and we expect it to continue in 2019, it not only fades but actually reverts and then turns into a headwind in 2020. And this is the so-called fiscal cliff. And what that means is that if Congress does not act, spending levels will revert to the very much lower levels set by something called sequestration, and will look like back to spending levels of 2017. And that means, practically speaking, from our estimates, that you'll see a headwind of about 0.4% to real GDP growth, which if the economy is already slowing, so you're already seeing this fading fiscal stimulus, then you're taking a big bite out of growth at the same time. Now, I highly doubt that Congress will let that happen. I think they will probably pass another spending bill for 2020 that just keeps levels the same as 2019 and thereby avoiding this fiscal cliff. But it certainly is a risk. And the reason why this is important, of course, from a market's perspective, is it just means that even though the United States has been kind of the shining star in terms of economic growth of the developed country over the last few years, that we should expect the U.S. to slow. We don't think it will go into recession in 2019, but that we will see sort of this slowing but kind of growing dynamic, that we've already kind of passed peak growth, but that as we get into 2020 especially, we will see, as this fiscal stimulus fades, a more kind of below potential growth rate for the United States.